Welcome to Truth Be Told About Going Wild. I'm your host, Robert Hensley, and this is the podcast inspired by the principles of personal rewilding. Now, if you've been listening over the past 6 months, you know that I've spoken about the previous studies that suggested that humans require 2 hours of exposure to nature over the period of a week in order to experience the full mental and physical benefits of nature, right? And that doesn't have to be 2 hours all in one clip. That can be broken down into four 30-minute sessions. That could be 18 minutes a day for 7 days. But 2 hours per week is what is required for us to be able to experience those benefits. Now, new research coming out of Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health and the Natural Capital Project at Stanford University is suggesting that just 15 minutes of passive time in nature can improve mental health. Not really news, right? We've been saying that for a while now. It's already been proven. But what they are telling us is that this is especially true in growing urban areas. Remember that by 2050, it's projected that 70% of the world's population will be living in developing urban areas. And with that means that there are increases in mental health issues, such as depression, anxiety, and that there are measurable benefits, again, after just 15 minutes of spending time in a green space in an urban area. Now, what's really new about their study or the research that they've published is that they have created a new computer mapping and modeling tool called Invest that can be used to quantify ecosystem services, aka the benefits that people can get from nature. And that this is really important for urban development. Developers can use this tool to look at the percentage of green space in an area. And most cities have about 20% of green space. But if that were to increase by 10% to 30% of green space in an urban area, the benefits to those communities grow exponentially. And these are things like pocket parks, lining streets with trees. And they're finding that this is most important to people who are under the age of 25. Remember that most mental illnesses or mental disorders are diagnosed before the age of 25. And that they're finding that this is incredibly effective in Asian countries, which have cultures that have a more they're more deeply tied to their green spaces. Though those spaces have a cultural and a traditional meaning to them, so they're primed for this idea of nature being beneficial to their health. Okay. They also found that low-cost programming in these communities, to include things like guided park meditation, really helped to promote the use of those space among young people. Right. So thank you so much for listening. I know that this wasn't exactly new information, but this new tool, Invest, is new, and that's exciting. The idea that people are thinking about urban planning and urban development in a way that includes green spaces, parks, ways of bringing nature into those areas so that people are not deprived of those benefits is really important. Okay. So again, thank you for listening. If you are looking for more content from the Truth Be Told family of podcasts, there are 3 opportunities each week. Tony Sweet on Friday with the original Truth Be Told. Bonnie Burkert on Wednesdays with Truth Be Told Transformation. That's the more metaphysical side of stuff. And me with Truth Be Told About Going Wild every Monday. And each of those shows goes live at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern. You can listen on the Club Paranormal channel on YouTube or on your favorite podcast channel. Now, if you'd like to know more about what I'm working on or have questions or comments about this particular episode, please feel free to reach out. You can contact me via the contact page on my website. That is www.rhnatureconnect.com. Again, that's rhnatureconnect.com altogether. And until next time.